And now for something completely different.
Oh, welcome to Cinematic Relief. My name is Thunder.
I'm Lightning.
That's gonna transition nicely from the explosion.
The thunder, you mean?
No, do you not know what I use as the intro for Cinematic Relief? It was your idea. I used the Monty Python thing.
Right,
And it ends with a big explosion.
That's right. That was
But-
my idea.
Yeah.
Like 2 years ago.
Yeah, probably at this point. Welcome to, this is our movie podcast. Video games, beat it. No more video games.
Yeah.
We're going to be talking about Spider-Man Far From Home.
And how great his video game was.
Yeah, and we're mostly going to be... No. We're going to be talking about... That's the title of the movie, right? The whole title, Spider-Man Far From Home?
Yeah.
There's not like
Far From Homecoming.
Far From Home coming. Far From Home was really good.
Yeah.
But before we start talking about that, I do want to talk about the theater we were in.
Oh, sure.
Because you did what I probably would have done. You were presented with 3 options.
Yep.
And they were, what were they?
Dolby, IMAX, and 3D.
Yeah.
And I have a follow-up to what you're about to say.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, just stop me whenever and say your thing.
Yeah.
So you picked Dolby because that's the one that sounded the most normal.
Yeah.
You know that me, your friend Anthony.
I mean,
doesn't-
Dolby's just a sound company.
right. Yeah. And you know that me, your friend Anthony, doesn't like 3D and doesn't
Right.
do 3D movies.
I don't either. I mean, I don't know if I've ever made that clear, but I'd opt out of a movie if it was only
okay.
in 3D.
I feel like I would too if it wasn't for I get headaches from 3D movies.
Yeah.
Like
I
really
just
bad
don't care
ones.
for them. It's stupid.
Right. I feel like even if I didn't get headaches, I'd still be like, Plus, it's more money for it. Anyways.
Yeah.
The issue is most of the time the people who made the movie did not intend for it to be shown in 3D.
Mm.
So the 3D is really like, I guess this is enhancing the experience.
Yeah.
Because 3D was like a big thing. Like, oh, this movie's in 3D, but now every movie does it and it's rather lame. Anyways, we went to the Dolby one because that sounded the most normal. And it calmed down when the movie started, but the trailers were so loud. Like, super way too loud. And I literally turned to Chris. I was like, I guess Dolby just means super loud.
Yeah.
Because it really just felt like they turned the...
And the seats shook. And
The seats shook, which wasn't, like, that big a deal. Like, I'm used to that. But it was just way too loud.
it was just all really obnoxious. And I don't know why, because we saw Toy Story in Dolby.
Did we?
Yeah, and it wasn't that bad.
Okay. No, it wasn't that bad at all.
I'm pretty sure we watched Endgame in it too, didn't we?
I don't think so. I think
No?
I've only been inside that Dolby theater just the once.
Okay. I didn't. Here's the thing. Once the movie started, I didn't care either way.
Right. Well, no, once the movie started, it calmed down.
Yeah.
I think
It was tasteful.
if to the caliber that the credits were, the movie was, I think I would have just waited in the lobby for you guys, honestly, because I was getting a really, really intense headache based on just off those trailers.
Yeah.
And then after the trailers, they showed 2 separate videos of like, look at what our sound
Oh,
system
yeah.
can do. And they were like moving this like wave of light across the screen, and it was like just so loud.
Oh, I know.
Um,
They were,
Also, like,
look at how cool we are.
also like we keep talking about how like there's so many cool movies coming out this summer, but like we're definitely winding down because all the trailers we got were like,
Oh.
look at this shitty movie. The only trailer that looked interesting, I've talked about it before, is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Yeah, that I'm
movie
excited
looks so
for.
good.
Is that coming out this summer?
I believe it's coming out soon. That's why we're seeing trailers for it. I could look it up. Margot Robbie's in the movie, and you know how I feel about her. But
Yeah.
it seems like in this movie she's playing a dumb bitch. So
It'll fit.
yeah, maybe she'll be
She won't have to act too much. Hurt her
Jesus,
head.
it's 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Oh, it's Quentin.
Oh, it's coming out July 26th. Oh, also something, I forget if I talked to you about this already. Who cares if it's his 9th movie? It was cute when it was The Hateful Eight. Like, it's called 8.
Yeah.
It's my 8th movie. But, like, who gives a shit if it's his 9th movie?
Yeah, I don't know why they're making a big deal about it now. I mean, it's all the same universe. So maybe that's why people care. But
Maybe, but like, and here's the thing, like, people are saying it might be his last movie. Like, if it said the last movie by Quentin Tarantino, that'd be something different.
yeah,
But like, it it said the 9th film. I was just like, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
Like, it's just another. If you make 100, I'll still see him, assuming I'm a fan. So like,
I don't know if it's because he has such a prestige and he's only made 9 movies, if that's why it's a big deal. You know, like he's such a famous writer and director.
but he has such a small catalog.
Yeah.
You mean?
Yeah.
Also, he's totally made 10. He just considers Kill Bill 1 and 2 the same movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Good.
that's why the numbers are off. Even though
Good.
he's never released Kill Bill 1 and 2 as one movie,
Yeah.
but he
As one 6-hour movie
Right.
or whatever.
considers them the same movie. So that's why it's 9 and not 10.
Weird. So it's his 10th. It's his 9th story. is what he's trying to say.
I think he's just kind of like up his own ass, and that's
Yeah.
why he's like, because it was definitely his decision to be like, no, put that it's my 9th movie.
Yeah.
People will see it more or whatever. But that movie looks good. I can't wait for Hobbs and Shaw to come out so I can stop seeing the fucking trailers.
Oh my god.
The trailers, the whole movie. First of all,
and we've seen like 4
three different trailers.
remember
for
the
it.
first, and they're all like 5 minutes long.
Yeah,
Remember the first one where they played "Why Can't We Be Friends" by War?
yeah,
That's the same movie.
yeah, yeah, yeah. The first trailer, it kind of looks like it could be okay, and then you realize it's a Fast and the Furious
Yeah.
thing, and it's like, oh,
And they make here's where I get confused is the first trailer with the "Why Can't We Be Friends" song makes it sound like the whole story is about them not getting along and it's gonna be kind of funny.
right,
This one's like, look at our guns. And
right.
It's, like,
definitely catering to. I see that with movies sometimes. It's like definitely catering to two kinds of audiences. Because like I'll shit on the Fast and Furious movies all day long, but like there's got to be people who enjoy those movies for the plot.
There's got to be a change in fan base because the people who are sitting there watching it like, yeah, the story's a little dumb, but like the cars are nice, the racing's cool and accurate or
Right.
whatever. Where is that in this one? Where's any of that in this? I saw a I saw a transformer. I saw a guy driving a transformer. Did you see that?
No.
There was an 18-wheeler. The bike's going under. He's skidding, and then his bike like transforms and then transforms again. As,
Oh, I didn't see that.
yeah.
That's some weird shit.
That's what I'm saying. Is now it's just a stupid action movie. Can we all admit that they're just milking it at this
yeah.
point?
I mean, literally, this one is we could only get 2 of the actors, but we
Because
needed
nobody
to make,
wants to do it anymore.
but we needed to make one this time. So this time it's just The Rock and Jason Statham.
And The Rock is what's the word I'm looking for? He's culturally appropriating Hawaii.
Oh,
Hawaiians.
yeah. Yeah, because there's a big part of the movie where they're like, instead of guns and cars, we're gonna use sticks and rocks because I'm Hawaiian and
this one.
I'm Hawaiian in this one, and this is what we do in my town of Hawaii, I guess.
He literally says, "Welcome to my island, mother," and then the trailer stops and I'm like, "Say it."
Yeah, just say it. No one's paying attention. Gemini Man also looks awful, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Spider-Man and how fucking good it was.
Yeah, let's talk about Spider-Man. Enough of the crappy stuff in the theater.
So the intro to this movie was perfect.
That was hysterical.
It was so perfect because you've seen those, right? They've like
Oh yeah.
done a couple of those online.
Oh, like for the characters in Endgame, like joke ones, or
No. I mean the news broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
The Spider-Man High news broadcast thing.
yeah.
So as soon as the My Heart Will Go On started, I was like, I know exactly what we're about to get.
See, I had no clue, and then that crappy JPEG of
Of Vision.
yeah,
Yeah.
I was. That's when I was like, oh wait,
Yeah. Yeah, that was great.
That was hysterical, and Tony wouldn't have wanted it any other way.
No.
Oh,
So where do we start? Like, it
Yeah.
was just...
I mean, I love the concept. So movie starts. Spider-Man's being Spider-Man. We find out what I really enjoyed about the beginning of this movie. Let's just go in order.
Sure.
What I really enjoyed about this movie is we got to see just a regular person's perspective of the snap. They call it the blip, and I
Yeah.
think the whole point is that's super dumb.
Right.
but like I loved the gym footage.
That was terrifying.
That was crazy.
No, but then you get the like even more lore with Aunt May, where she was like, when I came back, the people who were in my
Yeah.
apartment were like freaking out and
Yeah.
stuff.
And wow, both him and May. That apartment was empty. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I just put that together. And like they addressed the fact that some kids aged, some didn't, which
Right.
was a real
It's
concern
actually
for me.
It's actually like one of the main like not plot. One of the themes in the movie was that
Yeah.
one of the kids was like a kid who aged and is now older because everyone else didn't age.
Yeah. That was really cool. I just liked how we're dealing with the aftermath. And I feel like I know they're done with phases, but I feel like that's the next Marvel phase. Is like Infinity War aftermath. Gauntlet aftermath.
Yeah.
You know?
Like, I could see if they did that this movie and then pulled away from it to go to
Oh,
something new.
Guardians will probably play into that, especially with Thor.
Oh, well, I thought you were going to say especially with Gamora.
Oh, well, that's what I'm saying is
Yeah.
I feel like
At least for the first couple of movies,
Yeah.
I feel like we're going to still feel the impact of Endgame.
oh yeah, and I think it wouldn't feel real if we didn't.
Right, yeah.
I'd feel really disconnected if we were just done talking about it.
Yeah.
Like assuming Gamora is a big part of Guardians 3, we got to talk we got to talk about how 2 minutes ago she was with Thanos 5 years ago,
Right.
and now she's not
Right, yeah.
forever and has no memory of Quill.
Right.
So their love story has to start all over again, or not.
Or not, yeah.
It's crazy, but them guys aren't Spider-Man.
No, them guys are not Spider-Man.
So that happens. You and I saw the re-release of Endgame. We saw the first 5 minutes of this movie.
Yeah, more
Which-
like 30 seconds.
Yeah. I can't believe it. It was the very beginning.
Yeah. Yeah, me
But-
too. That's why I don't know if you was on the theater, but I went like
Oh yeah, no, me too.
because I was like,
Yeah.
oh great, we saw this.
Yeah.
They didn't go out of the way to show. They literally just showed the next scene in the MCU.
Yeah. The chemistry between Happy, Aunt May, and Peter, I really like.
Yeah.
I really like that.
And it goes away because Happy goes away, but it comes back at the end of the movie.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's like sort of like the best. Act 3
Oh,
of this
gosh.
movie is incredible.
We'll get. There's a lot I want to talk
Yeah,
about.
yeah, totally.
Actually, the beginning of this movie is kind of the most boring to talk about. So yeah, I mean, unless you have anything to add on, I just wanted to mention that Easter egg I found.
Oh, you haven't done that yet? Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, so they're packing up. They're going on a trip to Europe, the science class.
Yeah.
In
With the fucking sorry, if I may.
Yeah, no.
The teacher's such a loser. I know I talked to you
Yeah.
about this already, but like I don't remember the teacher being that big of a loser
Well,
in Homecoming.
I love it.
No,
I
it's
love his
great. It
character.
works a lot.
I really like the back and forth with him and the other teacher. I
Oh,
hope
yeah.
the other teacher makes it into Spider-Man 3, assuming and hoping there's a Spider-Man 3. I can only assume there is.
I have some news on that. We'll get into that later.
Okay.
Remind me.
Yeah, please. But I saw, so he's packing up, and I was watching his suitcase. I was really trying to watch for stuff this time.
Yeah.
And the initials on his suitcase are BFP,
Yeah.
which obviously is Benjamin Franklin Parker.
Not Franklin.
Or-
Don't
or for those of us who, it's Uncle Ben.
Oh, yes, yeah. You could give him any middle name you want, just not Franklin.
All right, Benjamin Frankfurter Parker.
Sure, that is better. It can be Ben Frank. It just can't be Benjamin Franklin.
No, but I noticed that nobody talking about it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
If I'm the only person who picked up on that or what.
I mean,
It was cool.
probably not, but like you're the first person to I say something about it. Like I haven't heard anything about
Yeah,
it. You know?
I almost I never do this, but I want to take to Facebook and be like, "Does anybody notice this?
Yeah.
why
Well,
is
I
nobody
was
talking
gonna-
about this?"
I was gonna do that too, but because I think we talked about this when we were rewatching Endgame at the re-release. It was my fourth time seeing it, and it took that long for me to notice that the intro cut out all the snapped victims. So And I was like, oh my God, that's crazy. I didn't notice that. Are people noticing that? And then I went to YouTube and people were like, yeah, we noticed. But like no one's talking about it. So, but yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
See what's up. There's another Easter egg that I don't think either of us caught, but it's way later in the movie, so I'll wait for it.
Okay. Yeah.
But I did hear about it, and I thought it was pretty cool, and it makes me excited. But yeah, it was. You keep going. You were doing good.
No, I mean that was essentially it for me for the beginning of the movie. I noticed, Ben Parker exists in the MCU.
Oh,
as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
I will say they cut out that one scene. There was a scene in the
yeah,
trailer
it was a really cool scene.
where Spider-Man
Joking around with the cops.
in the Iron Spider armor is like stopping a restaurant break-in or something, and then the cops are like, "Are you the next Tony Stark?" He's like, whatever. But that wasn't in the film. It was sort of replaced with the news reporter scene.
Yeah. Which I take it or leave it. I've seen it. That's all I care about is I saw it.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
So just moving forward a bit. So that's the beginning. You know,
Yeah.
we're seeing what life is like after the snap.
Yeah. And it seems to be like I feel like this wouldn't happen in real life, so I want to give credit to the MCU human race. They seem to be getting back into it as easily as possible.
Oh yeah.
Which is cool.
Yeah. Well, if you notice, and I don't know if this was a shout out to the Spider-Man game, but Aunt May's running a homeless shelter.
Oh, you're right.
And the reason that homeless shelter exists, I don't know if you were picking up on this.
Yeah, is because they're all people who came back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it really all ties in
Interesting.
nicely.
Yeah,
it's a weird thought.
I didn't even put two and two together. Maybe, and I don't know this, maybe Aunt May just does that in the comics. Maybe that's just a big thing she does. So
Yeah, I don't remember it. I don't remember. I've never seen an Aunt May scenario except for in that game and now where Aunt May's running a homeless shelter from what I remember.
Yeah.
But that could be the case.
Yeah.
So speaking of his suitcase, when he gets stopped at security
Yeah.
and his suit's just in the suitcase.
Yeah, and she just doesn't care.
Ignores it, yeah. Does she
Yeah.
just not know who Spider-Man is?
No, I think she's just doing her job, I
Yeah.
think she just doesn't care.
I was I was sitting with Pauline and she gasps. She was like, because she thought that was it. And I was like, no, just keep watching the movie.
Yeah.
And the friggin' banana.
Yeah.
Um,
So I like that Betty's a bigger character.
yeah, that was cool.
She was in the first one a little, but she's sort of a main character in this one.
Yeah.
And she was pretty cool. I liked her.
And the whole plane ride was that's what I liked about this movie. That's what I like about Spider-Man in the MCU is half of it's superhero, half of this is just watching this dorky kid in high school make his way through life.
And both are interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, cuz I love the plane scene. There's no reason for me to love the plane scene, but it was nice.
Yeah.
It was just a slice of life situation.
Yeah.
I also like Betty. I hope, even though, this is spoiler for further along in the story, but her and Ned get together. By the end of it, they break up.
Yeah.
I hope she's still a main character one way or another, because the whole group, the whole cast is coming together there, and it's really cool. What was I gonna say? So talked about the plane, and they first get to Europe. We can talk about Mysterio.
Yeah. Yeah, this is where Mysterio comes in. And he fights the water.
Yeah. Elemental.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like Jake Gyllenhaal.
No, I don't think anyone does.
No, he didn't. He did okay. Here's the thing.
He did incredible.
Yeah, he walked into the MCU. He walked out, and I'm okay with it.
He did an amazing job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he did any more, I think he'd start losing it. No, but he did fairly well. The Spider-Man game, I keep bringing it up.
Sure.
They're bringing suits over from this movie to the Spider-Man game.
Yes.
I really wish there's a scene where Peter's on vacation. He left his suit at the hotel, and they're talking and whatever. I mean, they're fighting and whatever, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta help out," and he just puts on like a mask.
Yeah, like a Mardi Gras mask.
Yeah,
essentially.
exactly. Yeah, and it was just so funny. It was perfect.
Yeah, but you want that in the game, is what
Yeah,
you're saying.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're gonna do it.
Nah.
That'd be perfect. So what else? What did you like? I've kind of been narrating here.
Yeah,
but-
well, I mean, it's at this point where the whole like A plot starts to develop, and like you meet Mysterio, and he talks about how there's a multiverse,
yeah.
and it turns out he's lying, but like he did get the
He got the number
he
right.
got the number right.
See,
which
you know
was
what would have
interesting.
been cool is if you got the number wrong, and we're all sitting there in the theater like that was the wrong number.
right, and some people would just
Right.
not notice because
Right. It'd just be a nice little like.
yeah. But the reason that he got the number right makes me think that they're never gonna do it.
That's kind of the reason I just brought that up is because now it feels like we're never gonna get a
Right.
multiverse.
But I thought that was this whole marketing period for this movie. I thought that's what the after the credit scene was going to be.
Oh yeah.
I thought it was going to be like, but he was lying, but it's real. The
Right.
multiverse is real, and here's it is.
Oh, me
here's
too.
It is.
And here's Deadpool's face. End of movie. He winks and kisses.
I don't think. Okay.
That wouldn't have been perfect.
No, it would have been great. I think it's too early still.
Speaking of the after credit scenes, we'll get there, but like a couple of crazy
No,
ones.
they were really great. But we'll get there. I just loved Mysterio so much.
Yeah.
He was great up until the switch, and then he was great after the switch for different reasons. Like
Oh, you mean good
in
guy
his
to bad
character,
guy?
yeah. The glasses were great. The glasses.
Oh God! First of all, I love the name.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna talk about.
Even dead, I'm the hero. That's
Yeah.
so perfect.
I think if I was Peter Parker, I would have just started bawling when I heard those words.
That was a little sad in the theater. Like it was supposed to be a funny moment, but I was like, wow,
Yeah.
that's him. He almost kills his class. It gets them instantly. Almost kills somebody with them.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, that scene. So, like you said, one of the plot points is he's trying to get with MJ,
Yeah.
and so isn't that kid was a little kid, now he's sexy kid their age.
Yeah.
And he also wants to get with MJ, and he catches Peter undressing. So Nick Fury takes over their vacation
Yeah.
because he's determined to have Spider-Man help him because he has no superheroes left, I guess.
We'll get to that.
Okay. So they pull over. He gets directed towards like a bathroom or whatever, where sexy like German lady or whatever is waiting for him with a suit. She tells him to strip, and honest to God, it was a little too sexy for me for my Spider-Man movie. I was like, oh, she's getting forceful. She looked familiar. I don't know if I've seen her in something before.
I could look her up while you're talking.
Yeah. But the kid snaps a picture, trying to, get
Blackmail. He's trying to
to blackmail Peter, just being like, you hooking up with women on the trip. I'm gonna show MJ, and then while trying to use Edith to delete the picture off of that kid's phone, he accidentally sets a drone on him to kill him.
That scene was really cool when he jumped out of the bus.
Oh yeah,
And he took out the drone.
It was the whole movie is just really good. Yeah, what do we got?
This woman's been in a few things. Nothing that I noticed though.
No?
Nothing that She's a Victoria's Secret model from 2012.
She was on no, was that not her? There was a runway show.
Okay. Do
Remember
you watch
that?
those?
When I was a kid, my mom had them on, so by proxy I watched them a little bit.
She was on Germany's Next Top Model. She was on the 2018 Victoria's Secret fashion show. She was on the 2013 Victoria's Secret. And the 2012 and the 2011 one. I don't think she was on
No.
Project Runway.
No, forget it. I
Yeah.
don't know. I think I thought she was the female host of Project Runway,
Oh, okay.
and I was just mistaken.
Whatever.
But
So the
Yeah.
Hydro, I've been calling him Hydro Man because that's what he thought he was going to be, but he's just a water elemental. It looked so fun, and it made sense because they were in Venice, the water city.
oh yeah,
Even though it was all fake. Wait, but Peter got real water on him. I'm not going to think about it too much. It looked really fun. It looked like a water ride. You know what I mean?
rewatching these, by the way, I thought about all of those and wanted to see if there were any plot holes. I've come to my own conclusions that these drones can manipulate stuff. Like, they can blow wind on you. They can suck up water if they're near it and squirt it at you to just make the sensations real.
Yeah.
Kind of getting ahead of ourselves. Mysterio's fake. He's a bad guy.
Yeah.
Just trying to get Edith from Peter Parker.
I really like how they did it because in the comics he's a special effects expert for like movies and shit. And in this one I love how they did it. He's the guy who designed the thing that Tony Stark is using at the beginning of Civil War.
And then they get the guy from Iron Man 1.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
I obviously didn't recognize that guy, but
No, I was curious to see if they like added him in later if we watch Iron Man if it's a different guy.
I'm convinced that it was actually him because other people got like a little, and you did this, but they didn't show a scene. I think they went out of their way to show the scene because it was actually him.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That whole scene at the bar was perfect.
Yeah, it went on a little long, but it was really. I like the running joke of the person tailoring the cape.
Yeah, that was great. But when Mysterio finally gets Edith the glasses from Peter Parker, they're sitting in a bar. When he puts them on, it looked like Robert Downey Jr. It was so amazing. It was right out. So they fight the fire elemental.
Yeah,
and it's all fake. But nobody knows that except Mysterio. Peter Parker, him and Peter are talking on the roof before the fight starts in that scene. And I thought this would have been really cool. We just see the back of Mysterio, and Peter says something to the effect of, like, it's nice to have something to talk to about superhero problems and stuff again. When it panned back to Mysterio, I really thought it was going to be Robert Downey Jr. for a second, and then just kind of fade.
Just like what he's seeing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then just kind of fade to Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
I thought that would have been cool. Maybe a little over the top with the mush, but that I feel like.
Well, they also would
have
have had to get Robert Downey Jr. to do that.
Yeah, true.
I'm sure he's
done
on a mega vacation right now.
Yeah.
No, it was really good. The second that there was a scene where they're fighting the fire thing where he like webs a invisible like camera thing.
That second time around, I knew exactly what was happening. I was lost when that was happening.
Well, I was expecting it. I went into this movie being like, no, Mysterio is not. He's a villain. It's going to be all fake.
Yeah.
He's not going to be the good guy. And as soon as that happened, I was like, that was a camera. It's really happening.
Yeah.
And it was they did it really well. We got to talk about the warehouse scene.
Warehouse scene.
Everything's fake. Literally everything's fake.
Oh my god.
The like greatest on-screen thing I've ever seen. It was incredible.
That was crazy. Zombie Iron Man.
All happened so quick. Did you pick up on anything a second time watching it? Chris has seen it twice. I haven't.
Not. I really tried watching too. Nothing particularly different. I can't think of anything different from that scene.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what did get me is he comes out of all of that and gets hit by a train.
Yeah.
That was even scarier the second time. Just because it takes a little longer than I thought it was going to happen.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay. And your guard gets down, you're like, all right, maybe this is a little low. Oh god, there it is. But no, besides that, I didn't really pick up on anything different the second watch.
Okay, just with that scene.
Yeah. Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah.
That was one of the best scenes I've ever seen.
Yeah, it was really good. It was like that scene was what those fucking dream sequences from the new Star Wars films want to be.
Yeah. You're talking between Rey and what are you talking about?
when Rey in the first one, when Rey picks up Luke's lightsaber, she has like a Force vision.
Oh yeah.
And then in the second one, when she's in the cave.
Yeah.
This was those, but like we actually did it, and it's way better.
Yeah.
But yeah, that set the tone for the rest of the movie. Like the whole movie, I was like, you just like, and they do it on purpose because this is how Spider-Man's feeling also. But it's like, what am I looking at is real, and what am I looking at is not.
Oh, I know.
Real.
Well, next scene picks up, and he's in jail in the Netherlands, and he just escapes because he's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And the guard has his mask on. You went to the bathroom like right around then. Did you see that?
No.
They're like, he gets out of jail, literally just like breaks the lock, opens the door, and he's walking away, and he turns his head, and the guard just has the Spider-Man mask on like Ned did in 1.
Oh.
Just talking on the phone. It was funny. One thing that was really cool, so he gets to a town, and he asks to borrow somebody's phone, and they're like, sure, and he calls Happy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, Happy, and then he asks the guy, he's like, where am I? And he says, this like 25-syllable name.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he hands the phone to him, and the guy says it again. And then where he is pops up on the screen because the guy says it to Happy, and I was like, that's pretty cool.
Oh, that is really cool. I wish I didn't miss that.
Yeah.
I didn't want to go to the bathroom, but I had to.
That's okay.
There was 3 pee times on Run Pee.
See, I wouldn't have considered that one because that was a really funny part.
Yeah, but I read about it on the phone, and I didn't miss any plot really.
No, you didn't miss any
but
plot.
Also, I guess this is, credit to me, but half the scene I read on the phone, I came back in time for.
Yeah.
Like the whole part on the plane. I mean,
Well,
the whole part where he was like, ask me something only you would know.
Yeah.
That was in the scene, and I was like, I'm going to miss this, but then I didn't.
Yeah.
So I kind of saw that one twice, sort of. The scene on the plane was really cool.
It was my favorite scene of the
He literally
movie.
had like a big speech about how he was like, I don't want to be Iron Man, and then
I don't want it.
He stood up and was like, well, time to be Iron Man, and then he just like
Well, that was
Iron Man.
This whole movie, and they found the perfect sentence. So Tony leaves him a little note with Edith, and it says, for
the next Iron Man, I trust you.
But with a comma placed weirdly, so
Yeah.
it's like, I trust you to be him. I trust you to pick him. It's unclear.
Yeah.
And it was just it was the perfect sentence because it really
Yeah.
makes me feel like I don't know what he meant either.
And it's easy because he's a superhero and he hangs out with a bunch of adults. It's easy to forget that Spider-Man's a kid.
Oh, yeah.
And you're really reminded of how immature he is when he just hands the glasses to Mysterio after like 2 days of knowing him.
Yeah. Or how they were on the floor and the woman hands them to him and then he hands them to Mysterio.
Yeah.
But no, that was a cool scene. He gives a whole speech. Then Happy's like, well, what are you going to do? And he's like, well, I'm going to fight him. And then Happy shows him that you can make suits on the ship. They put on Back in Black, which was Iron Man's song.
Yeah.
And just Tom Holland did a great job of acting the way Robert Downey Jr. did when he was building the first Iron Man suit.
That scene, because we didn't get a ton of this movie, but that scene did a good job of reminding me that Spider-Man's a genius.
Yeah,
he can,
I forgot too. He's super smart, like Tony was.
Yeah. He can talk with the best of them when it comes to like Bruce Banner and like just science jargon and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm sure like if he sat down with Banner and Tony,
Oh, they did.
he'd be way over his head.
Right.
But he has a better understanding than the average person.
Right. He literally we see it. He literally while he's studying for exams creates his webbing.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's insane.
He also runs out at one point of
Yep.
webbing, which
Oh,
was
yeah.
interesting. Whenever anything Spider-Man happens, I always have the same question, and it's never answered. His shoes do it? If he's in sneakers and he climbs up a wall, his sneakers are sticking to that wall.
Yeah.
Why?
No, it's a fair question. It's a very fair question.
I had the question again when he was fighting Hydro Man, how it was just like, you're in sneakers, my dude. Like your hands, yeah, and when you're in the suit, yeah, but like those are Skechers, and you fucking can't tell me there's webbing on those.
I liked hearing him over and over again talk about how he's like, I'm strong and I'm sticky, and I was like, yeah, those
Yeah.
are your powers. It's weird you chose Spider to be your logo because it could have been you're strong and sticky. That's it.
Right. The webbing isn't even part of your
Yeah, you made that.
superpower. There was a cool parallel in that scene that there's an enemy and his buddy
Yeah.
is like, I'm being vague on intentionally, but the buddy character is like, where's your suit? And he's like, I didn't bring it, I'm on vacation. And then he runs around a corner, he puts on a web thing, which is just the wrist part,
Yeah.
and then he goes and fights, which is almost exactly what Iron Man does in Civil War. There's I believe it's Black Panther and Winter Soldier are there, and Natasha's like, where's your suit? And he's like, I'm wearing my suit, I didn't bring an Iron Man suit. And then he puts on a watch and he's just got an Iron Man hand.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
it's like kind of the same. I don't know. There was just some cool parallels.
No,
There's a lot of
absolutely.
and they obviously did this on purpose. There's a lot of just like Iron Man would do.
Oh yeah, yeah. It really makes me feel like we're gearing up to have Tom Holland be the major role of the MCU at this point, which is weird. He's a good pick. He's the young kid.
Yeah.
I don't know
No, I
how
think
that's going to lay out.
I think this whole movie was like, it's not going to be him. Like, I think
Okay.
this whole movie was like, hey, audience member, do you want it to be him? Well, calm down. It's not going to be him.
I'd believe you if it wasn't for that scene. I mean, what was that scene for if it's not going to be him?
Which one?
The Iron Man scene.
Oh, yeah,
him
no,
becoming Iron Man.
I think it was just, I don't know. I mean, it was just.
If that's not the case, they did a very bad job. They misled me.
No, I mean the what I got from that scene is it's just supposed to be like showing us that like even though he doesn't want it, like he clearly like look at how similar to Iron Man he is,
Oh,
even
right.
though he doesn't want it.
I mean, like Tappy said, there's never going to be another Iron Man.
Right.
But
the movie and we keep saying the next Iron Man, but like we don't literally mean in the suit. We mean like the main character
even
of
just
the.
like the whole characteristic. He's kind of like the Batman of the MCU. There's not going to be another one.
Right.
He's gone.
Yeah.
But I feel like Tom Holland could be the next closest thing. Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Especially in like thinking of it from a franchise aspect, Spider-Man stood on its own 2 feet by itself for 10 years.
Yeah. It
You
almost
know what I
didn't,
mean?
but yeah.
It almost didn't, and they did a bad job, but this time they're not doing a bad job. And I
Right.
think from a marketing standpoint, they're thinking about that. They're like, well, who can stand on their own 2 feet? Well, we know Spider-Man could.
Right.
We watched Spider-Man do it before we did it.
That's a good point. That's probably why the next movie after Endgame was a Spider-Man movie.
That's what I'm saying.
and not, Doctor Strange or Black Panther.
Right. If you think about it, who's proven it already
Right.
outside of the MCU?
Right. Well, I mean, it's funny that you say Iron Man's the Batman of the MCU because you're totally right. But when it comes to comics, like the main character of DC is Superman and the main character of Marvel is Spider-Man.
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying is I feel like this movie set up exactly what they want me to think, which is you liked all those Iron Man movies, well, get ready for the Spider-Man movies.
Right.
And
yeah.
how Tom Holland, though not, he's clearly there's going to be a reorganization because it can't be Tom Holland and all these grown adults following what he says. There's gonna be some
Right.
adult figure, Tom Holland.
No, Tom Holland's Spider-Man works really well as the like when they're all together. He works really well as the like, and I'm here too.
Right. But I think he's gonna be more prominent now.
Yeah.
And whether that means when there's an Avengers movie, he's a more serious part of it, or if you know how there's always a new Iron Man movie, how there's gonna be a new Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
I think he's just gonna become the main guy. There was like 5 Captain America movies, or I'm exaggerating, but
Yeah.
you know, 4 of those and 3 of Iron Man. I think it's gonna be Spider-Man and blank. Thor could be Thor. We need to see what happens to Thor.
Yeah.
But I think that's what they're gearing us up for is who. Well, we lost 2 huge titans. Who's gonna replace them?
Right,
I
yeah.
think we just saw one. I think that movie
Well,
showed us here's
so-
one.
A lot of people have been talking about like what is next for Tom Holland's Spider-Man, and there's actually more info out there than we thought.
Yeah. So tell
So,
me.
Tom Holland's contract with like Sony, Marvel, and all that, said that he is gonna do 3 movies where he's the star and 3 movies where he's not the star. So as far as not the star goes, that's Civil War, Infinity War, and Endgame.
Yeah.
And as far as ones where he is the star, that's Homecoming and Far From Home. So it looks like we're at least can look forward to a
Another
Spider-Man
Spider-Man.
3,
Yeah.
which will be cool.
I mean, that's how many Iron Mans there were.
Right. But beyond that, we're not quite sure. But there has to be another Spider-Man based on the
The info you have.
end credits scene.
Oh, right. Well, that's what I'm saying. Okay, so just to wrap up the plot of the movie,
Yeah.
he beats up Mysterio.
Oh, the final fight.
Final fight was
is
crazy.
just a bunch of drones, and if you told me, oh yeah, at the end of this movie he just fights a bunch of drones, I'd be like, oh okay. It was like so cool. Do you want to know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of the Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. When he freezes time and he's like,
Oh yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, this is awesome, and that movie's gonna suck, and this is what that movie wants to be.
You know what? That actually, the way you worded it, maybe not visually, but the way you worded it, just sounds like the plot of Iron Man 3.
What?
He just fights a bunch of drones at the end of Iron Man 3.
Oh, yeah, it does. Yeah, it's a.
Essentially, a bunch of like androids.
Yes, yeah, you're right. You're right. No, that's 2. That's Iron Man 2.
That goes with the parallel to Iron Man 2. That's literally what you've been talking. No, you mentioned Civil War, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there's some parallels. The
Yeah.
point is there's some Iron Man
there's
parallels.
there's a lot of I think intentional parallels to
yeah. Which
between
is something we
Spider-Man
could
and
talk
Iron Man.
about in a
in a video essay.
Yeah.
if we wanted.
which
Um,
this movie has sparked us. Do you want me to say this? I
Yeah,
know
you
we haven't
can if
worked
you
on the
want.
script yet, but we are gonna be making
a
a
follow up to our
most marvelous scene.
one marvelous scene.
Oh yeah, I called it something. I had a different title for this one, but I think One Marvelous Scene Part 2 people would catch that
Yeah.
better.
But yeah, the after the credits scene,
Yeah.
Mysterio does exactly what he does in the comic books. He stages Spider-Man killing him, reveals his secret identity, puts it on the news.
And Spider-Man has a heart attack off camera.
Yeah. And they
Yes.
got J.K. Simmons to play J. Jonah Jameson again,
and
which
he looks older, and that's cool too.
you brought up an amazing, interesting point that I can't stop thinking about. That's the first time ever that there's been a pre-MCU MCU crossover.
Right.
He is the one and only character to ever make
Yep.
it over, like in terms of the same actor playing the same character.
Yep. And if there was any one character, I think he's a good one.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting about that? First movie without a Stan Lee cameo. Stan Lee said that character personified him.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I don't know if that was intentional.
He actually, Stanley played that character in Into the Spider-Verse, in the after the credits scene in Into the Spider-Verse.
Oh, did he really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't know that. I didn't know that was
he's
Stan
the one.
Lee.
He's the one who's like, Spider-Man, shoot Spider-Man, and it's like, but which one?
It's just so cool.
Yeah.
And like I said, I mean, there's a lot to this movie that makes me think he's gonna be the next headlining character, and that's kind of part of it. Like I mentioned, if the MCU's thinking logically about characters that could run their own franchise and make people want to see the Avengers movies,
Yeah.
there's field research that Spider-Man can do that,
Right.
and they put one of the guys from that movie in that movie. Why? Because people loved those movies
Yeah.
and picked
Yeah.
up on it.
No, if you nailed it. If I'm going to show up to a movie with Avengers in the title, I need to be hooked.
Somebody, you
movie
need
to movie.
somebody, right? Exactly.
I need the individual. Like I need Black Panther 2 to bring it, and I need Doctor
Right.
Strange 2 to bring it. Like I need to be excited for next
And-
time they all team up.
And what's interesting about those movies, and this is just going there's always a secondary Avenger, whether it's a bit part or something like
Oh yeah.
there's somebody else.
You mean like Thor was in Doctor Strange
Right.
technically, and Doctor Strange was in Thor, and
in Black Panther,
Winter Soldier was
Winter
in Black
Soldier, right.
Panther. Falcon was in Ant-Man.
right? Nobody in Spider-Man,
No.
unless you want to count Happy, which
Well,
I don't.
You mean this Spider-Man? Yeah, nobody. I
Right.
thought you meant because Iron Man was in the last one,
Right.
obviously. But there was nobody. It was
And
just
you didn't
him.
need anybody.
No, you didn't. You
That's
didn't,
what
'cause
I'm
this movie
saying.
was so good.
But that's what I'm saying is people are gonna flock to the Spider-Man movie.
So have you heard about this? During the after the credit scene Easter egg that people are picking up on.
No.
So, that scene, the scene where he's watching the news with all the civilians, takes place in front of Avengers Tower. It's like right in front of Avengers
really?
Tower, and it's for sale, like it was in Homecoming. And there's a sign that says something along the. I'm gonna get the line wrong, but it says something along the lines of like, you're gonna be excited for what's next.
Oh wow.
And on the poster, it says 1, 2, 3, and then a question mark. So people have had this theory for a while, like ever since Homecoming. But what people are thinking that maybe the Fantastic Four bought Avengers Tower, which would be
that'd be
awesome.
cool.
I think that'd be really
Yeah.
cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was the. I don't know, because you've seen it twice. I haven't. I didn't know if you saw that because I definitely
No, I
didn't
mean,
see it.
if I see it again, I'll keep my eye open.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna see it again.
Oh, yeah.
I really want to stop going to the theater just solely based on how much money I've spent at the theaters lately. But like that movie was really
Well,
good.
Have them stop making good movies.
I know, right?
Um,
No, I liked. This is very rare, and it's funny because it happened with literally the last Spider-Man movie. I liked everything about this movie. I liked the A plot. I liked the B plot. I liked the villain. I liked so the other after the credit scene, you find out that Maria Hill and Nick Fury were Skrulls the whole time, specifically
the ones from Captain
the
Marvel.
ones from Captain Marvel, the one that was like best friends with Nick Fury and his wife that they were trying to rescue the whole movie. Which is a trip because that means that the Maria Hill character was technically not in that movie at all. But it makes sense because like when I mean you watched it a second time, but when I think back to it, like that probably explains why. Like that, it 100% explains why they were so fixated on Spider-Man, but it also explains why that conversation they had was so awkward because he was like, "What about Captain Marvel?" And then he had like a super like visceral reaction to Captain Marvel. He was like, "Don't fucking talk about Captain Marvel." And then he mentioned Doctor Strange, and their excuse was unavailable. Like they didn't give an excuse because they don't have one because they don't know what Doctor Strange is.
Yeah,
because there's
they also didn't even mention Hulk. I meant to mention that. I don't know why, but Spider-Man's listing off these heroes. He refused to mention the Hulk.
Yeah, he didn't mention Hulk or Hawkeye or Ant-Man. He didn't mention like any of the prominent like Earth ones.
Right.
He mentioned,
and that might have been avoiding plot holes.
Right.
Like we need to acknowledge this, but don't think about it too much.
Yeah. Because you're right, Iron Man. Doctor Strange would be better for this.
Oh yeah.
Assuming the elementals are real.
You mean Doctor Strange with the other universe Doctor Strange?
Yeah. No, but it was really cool. And
Also, I'm sorry, just because now we are ripping a plot hole in this. Doctor Strange shows up, takes one look at Mysterio, and is like, "BS, none of this, none of it."
No, yeah, yeah. No, it was really good. It was really good. I feel like there was more I wanted to talk about. There was just so much good in this movie. I feel like all the actors really brought it.
Oh yeah.
I feel like none of them dropped the ball. I feel like I don't know. It was just a really good movie, and it you can tell that the people who made it had a lot of fun making it. I just gotta. I know he's not gonna win like an award or anything, but like I gotta like give another shout out to Jake Gyllenhaal. He did such a good job. They keep doing that. Jake Gyllenhaal is an actor who I have no interest in, and every time I see him, I'm like, oh, he kind of sucks in this one. I kind of don't like Jake Gyllenhaal. And then he fucking brought it, and he was like the best part of the movie, for me at least. It was just so perfect.
Yeah, he did a good job. Like I said though, and I think this is why he got this part, but he stepped in. They managed to get a good job out of him, and then he's gone.
Yeah.
And then, we don't have to deal with him anymore.
No, I mean, there's a specific woman who you can accredit. I forget her name, but, like, she must go, like, into a casting, like, meeting and be like, okay, who could we get for this role? We could get, like, there's a
Keanu
list of
Reeves.
people we could get, but what if we went with this one? And everyone's like, what? And she's like, no. I know they suck. Let's just get this one, and we'll make them good. and then they do.
My joke was they apparently have asked Keanu Reeves to be in every single one of these films, and he keeps refusing.
Yeah. Oh, that reminds me. Someone on Twitter brought up a good point. Mysterio's whole thing was a lie, how he was from another dimension and stuff. But, like, he was an employee of Stark Industries, right?
Mm.
He used his real name. He was like, I'm Quentin Beck Mysterio. But that's that dude's real name in real life. Like, when he worked for Stark Industries. And, like, that's kind of... It's not really a plot hole. It's just, like, no one thought about that.
Well, here's the thing. And that's a very excellent point. And, that wasn't the real Nick Fury.
Right, but Mysterio had to assume it was.
No, bad job on his part.
Yeah,
Should have thought that maybe, no, because he made a big point about killing Nick Fury. No, that's a good point. That's a big oversight on his part. Maybe he just got a little cocky, but...
it's in character. It's just...
Right. No, but as far as him not getting figured out, I'd chalk that up to, wasn't the real McCoy.
Right. Yeah. Something that I wanted to talk about that I noticed and I thought was going to get brought up again in the movie but never was. Ned acts kind of weird at one point. There's the part where they're going to the opera house and he looks at Peter and he's like, Peter, just make sure you take the monster away from the opera house. And he was like, yeah, okay. I thought they were going to be like, oh, he was a hologram in that scene or something like that. Or he was a Skrull or something.
Yeah.
Because he was acting kind of weird, but I guess he was just acting
being
weird.
a weirdo.
Yeah.
Well, he was being weird with the whole girlfriend, too. He had a lot of weird points in this movie, but I know what you mean.
But the fact
that
he looked
strange.
at Spider-Man and he was just like, here's the mission again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was weird.
I thought they were going to circle back to that and be like, he was a hologram in that scene.
Yeah.
But nah, they did not do that.
Yeah, that was weird. Then they all... No, actually, they left the opera house. Some of them.
Yeah.
How does that work?
What?
Like, the teacher didn't turn around once?
No, the teachers suck.
There's intermissions during the operas.
Yeah, but he, like, barely even noticed... Like, he barely even notices when kids are missing. Like, they just...
That's why they keep dying.
That's why they keep dying. Oh, that guy sucks, but I love him. I love how, like... When he was looking up everyone's search history in the classes, that the other teacher was Googling about witchcraft.
Was he really?
Yeah.
See, I need to, like, when this is out on DVD, I need to, like, pause it because I can't read them all.
Yeah.
Even this time around, I was like, I'm going to read different ones. And I kept reading the mundane ones. Like, not even characters I know of.
Right.
And I was like, well, no. And by the time I reorient myself, it's gone.
Yeah, no, J.B. Smoove's character, who's like all science until a giant water monster shows up, and then he can't stop talking about witches, is Googling. He's on, like, I believe it's the Wikipedia article for witchcraft.
Good.
Or something like that.
See, I guarantee you there's an Easter egg in there. I haven't been able to catch yet because I can't read them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, very, very good movie.
Also, there was a little weird backstory on Flash Thompson that never went anywhere.
I mean,
his, like, mom is, like, a neglectful mom, but, like, that didn't go anywhere and they just stopped talking about it.
I think we're going to get... Here's the thing. There's a lot of plot development that can happen for Flash's character in Spider-Man 3, and it's Peter Parker's Spider-Man. That is factual. Here's the information for you, Flash.
Oh, yeah. He's kind of the only main character who didn't know already
At this point,
of
yeah.
all the characters.
Yeah, but now he does,
Yeah, that's
and
gonna
I
be.
want to see how he reacts.
That's gonna make for a really cool B plot in the next
Oh, yeah.
one. That's gonna be cool. But yeah, I think that does it. We both very much liked
yeah.
Spider-Man: Far From Home.
No,
Next, what?
Roger Ebert.
Oh shit. Roger Ebert's Critic Corner podcast within a podcast. Roger Ebert gives Spider-Man 2 from 2004 4 out of 4 stars.
Really? Oh
Yeah.
my God, Anthony, that's the 4th 4 out of 4 in a row on our show. Or 3rd. That's too many. This guy started liking movies in his very old age.
Yeah.
Did he like it better than Spider-Man 1? Because Spider-Man 1 was the best one of those 3 films.
Oh, wait a minute. Is this the one I read already? Hold on.
Oh,
There's one word that I can look up in this thing too. No, this is not the one I read
Okay.
already. Okay, cool.
and I
He
kind of
called
take
Spider-Man
that back.
he called Spider-Man a really bad thing in the last one.
Oh, I think I remember
I'm
that.
gonna say it. It's not great. I wouldn't use this word normally, but he calls him a social retard.
Oh,
in the
that's
last
right.
one.
That's right. He did.
Which is not.
I take it
cool.
back. Two is better than 1
What do you mean?
of these movies.
Far From Home and
I'm sorry.
oh, this no
Yeah.
the Sam
Tobey
Raimi of the Sam Raimi movie. Spider-Man 2 is the best one.
Yeah, I
hands
think
down.
so.
Now this is what a superhero movie should be.
Ooh.
Is how it starts. He talks about he can't not compare things. These movies demonstrate what's wrong with a lot of other superhero epics. They focus on the superpowers and short change of humans behind them. In parentheses, has anyone ever been more boring, for instance, than Clark Kent or Bruce Wayne?
Bruce
Spider-Man-
Wayne's not boring.
Bruce Wayne is not boring. I mean, Bruce Wayne is boring. Batman's not boring. Spider-Man 2, I don't know if that's as nuanced as this man is getting, but Spider-Man 2 is the best superhero movie since the modern genre was launched with Superman in 1978.
Yeah. Good. Good comparison. Bring something up that was 30 years old at this point. Did you know Star Wars 9 looked a little bit better than the first Star Wars that came out? I mean, give me a break.
What are they trying to pull? Fuck. It succeeds by being true to the insight that allowed Marvel Comics to upturn decades of comic book tradition. Readers could identify more completely with heroes like themselves than with remote godlike paragons. I agree, Roger Ebert. This I already knew because I'm a fan now, I guess. I was disappointed by the original Spider-Man from 2002 and surprised to find this film working from the first frame. Sam Raimi, the director
Shut
of
up.
both pictures, this time seems to know exactly what he should do and never steps wrong in the film that effortlessly combines special effects and a human story, keeping its parallel plots alive and moving. Sometimes I pick a sentence and I'm like, this one looks okay, and then it goes on forever.
Even when he likes the movies, I don't get a good feeling from this guy.
No, I don't care about the plot. I've seen this film, surprisingly. There are special effects. Ooh, interesting. There are special effects, and then there are special effects. In the first movie, I thought Spider-Man seemed to move with all the realism of a character in a cartoon. This time, as he swings from one skyscraper to another, he has more weight and dimension, and Raimi is able to seamlessly match the CGI and human actors.
Okay.
The special effects triumph in the film is the work on Doc Ock's 4 robotic tentacles. Watching Raimi and his writers cut between story threads, I savored classic workmanship. Whoa.
Yeah?
Tobey Maguire also... This I did not know. Tobey Maguire also didn't sign for the sequel, complaining of back pain. Jake Gyllenhaal, another
Hey.
gifted actor, was reportedly in the wings, but if Maguire hadn't returned, along with Spidey's throwaway line about his aching back, he would never have known how good he could be in this role. Jake Gyllenhaal was supposed to play Spider-Man in 2004?
That's so crazy.
The moviegoers who make a point of missing superhero movies... This guy, right at the end! There are moviegoers who make a point of missing superhero movies, and I can't blame them.
Wow.
Although I confess to a weakness for the genre, I liked both of the Crow movies and Daredevil, Hulk, and X2 X-Men United.
Oh,
but
he
not,
picked all the bad ones.
He picked some bad ones. X2 is pretty good, but not. Hulk is bad. Daredevil is bad. Not enough to
Wow.
recommend them to friends who don't like or understand comic books. Spider-Man 2 is another category. It's a real movie, full-blooded and smart, with qualities even for those who have no idea who Stan Lee is. It's a superhero movie for people who don't go to superhero movies, and for those who do, it's the one they've been yearning for. The end.
He had to. Apparently, he even likes this genre, and he had to give it a little dig right at the end.
It seems like Roger Ebert read comics as a kid. It really does, but he doesn't want to admit it.
Mm.
It seems like he's a traditional fan of comic books, and he doesn't want to make a big deal out of it, so he like dances around the subject.
If he was alive for the height of the MCU, I think we'd be seeing a new Roger Ebert. I'd love to. I think if he kept with his smug attitude up until those movies and miss history once again, I think we're at an enlightened period in cinema where he'd get so much backlash he wouldn't have been half as famous as he was in the past. I'm sorry, I blacked out. I just started hating on this guy so much. I started
back.
coming to at the end, and I was like, I think this might have been the most well thought out sentence I've said in like 10 years.
Welcome back. No, he sucks, and movies are good. Is what I got from that. No, but you're right though. First of all, get with the program, dude. We do it out of 5 or out of 10. But second of all, like,
Oh yeah,
If-
aren't we giving him numbers?
no,
We haven't been doing that on Cinematic Relief.
no,
Oh, okay, that's fine.
no. I just meant we as a civilization.
Right. No. I knew what you
No, there's a couple movies that I feel like if he gave them less than 4 stars, people would be like, "Are you kidding me?
Well, that's the thing.
You're too old."
Either they're perfect or it just seems like they're bad. But that's because of the system he set up.
Yeah,
They're either great, C- or Fs. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? That's not how systems work.
no. For the most prolific, most like realized, most like famous movie critic, he's not very nuanced, even
No.
though he attempts to be in every sentence.
Yeah. He's a weird dude.
He weird dude.
Rest in peace.
May he rest in peace. Well, that'll do it for us. I totally forgot that we do that. I'm gonna have to do another one of those in like a half hour. That was.
He definitely didn't review what we're gonna talk about.
No. Yeah. So about that next week, this podcast that you're listening to, I mean, you already know this, but it's gonna go up on Monday the 8th. Monday the 15th, we're going to talk about Stranger Things, specifically Season 3, because that just came out, and we've both actually already watched it.
Mm.
And so that should be fun.
It's 2 days after its release.
Yeah. Which is funny, because I watched it, and I called you, and you were like, "Oh, no, I didn't watch it. I thought we were going to watch it together." And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I watched the whole thing in one day because I'm a lunatic." And then here we are 2 days later, you're like, "Yeah, I also watched the whole thing."
I started that night too. I had a big day the next day. I stayed up late
Cool.
watching as much of it as I could.
Yeah, no, it was good. But we'll talk about that next time. So join us for that. And I've been Thunder,
I'm Lightning.
and we'll see you next time.